Hello everybody and welcome to this introductory video for Starborne Sovereign Space. This video is going to be a shallow overview of the gameplay elements to help you quickly start the game. And in the description below you'll find links to our forums, to our Discord server, and to more videos with more in-depth explanations. So the first thing to realize about Starborne is that it's a massively multiplayer 4X game. And unlike Civilization, which is turn-based, we cannot have it turn-based because nobody's going to wait for thousands of players to finish their turn before taking their own. So whatever you do in Starborne takes real time to complete. And the way that people play this game is that they log in, they issue orders to their units and to their stations, and then they're free to log out until those things have been completed. The aim of this game, being an alpha, is pretty much just to build the largest empire. You have alliances, and the alliances are capped at 20 people, and the largest alliance is usually what we call a winner at the end of these alpha phases. So first off I'm just gonna quickly explain the board for you guys. So you have these spirals here, and these are your starting locations. When you join the game, you can choose which spiral you're gonna join. This is so that you and your friends can at least be in the same spiral if you're going to play together. I'm just going to zoom in and show you the board a little bit. This is my beginning station, and you guys will start with a station just like that one. We have sun hexes, we have planets and moons, and then we have these resource hexes. And all these hexes give you resources when you harvest them, except for the stars. When you're viewing the map, you can change the view mode here by clicking on change mode. There are 3 view modes. You can also press space to do it. And this is the first one. This is just the normal view mode. Then we have the exploration view mode, which I will explain better later. And then we have the resource view mode. And in this view mode you can see the yield of all the hexes that are in the game, so you can make decisions about where to build your next space station and which hexes to harvest. Inside your station, I'm just gonna double click my station to zoom to it, and inside it we have this buildings button, and if I click it you can see all the buildings that are in the station, and they are segregated. On the left side you have these production buildings, and on the right side you have these specialization buildings. And depending on which buildings you build inside your station, you are specializing your station to become a certain type of a station, like an industrial station, a military station, or a domain station. And domain has to do with travel speed, espionage, and labor production. I'll explain labor a bit better later. So on the left side you have the production buildings, and these are the buildings that you're always upgrading. You always want to get these up as high as you can, because these increase the labor output of your station or the resource output. Labor is extremely important. You can see down here I'm producing 90 metals an hour, 130 gas an hour, 90 crystals an hour, and I have 3,212 labor. So labor is used for the upkeep of everything. All buildings cost labor, and all units inside of fleets cost labor to maintain. So labor is pretty much the most important thing to have, and you want your capital station to produce a lot of labor. We also have the shipyard here. We have the shipyard for each station, and you have to build this shipyard building here in order to produce ships inside the stations. So, and I might also mention that we have an administrator account and we have station levels. So when you reach a level 2 station, you can see this guy here. This means that these buildings require an administrator to be built, and you have a limited amount of administrators. There are 17 administrators in total, and let me see, how many there was? Yeah, you get 6, and then 5. Yeah. So the tooltip isn't absolutely correct. It says you get 6 each level, but you get 665. So we're talking about the shipyard. Yeah, you select the ship, and you select the amount. You can also click and enter the amount, and you can see down here this time is not the correct time, but you can see here in this queue how long until your order of units is complete. Let me just put a building into construction as well. You click the building, do construct, and you have this hurry button here. If a building takes less than 5 minutes to complete, you can click the hurry button. And this button here delivers the completed ships. So if I wanted this single ship that I'm finished with right away, and just click, and it will be delivered, and it goes into your hangar right here. Oh, I have two. Okay, I don't know why I have two, but that's cool. Yeah. So in order to use the ships that you produce that are in your hangar, you need to create fleets, and you do that in the fleets management UI. Select your new fleet. I'm going to do a Corvette fleet. I can see I have 2 Corvettes in the station, and I put them into the fleet, press confirm, and voila, now I have a Corvette fleet. And I can use this fleet to raid targets. And I suggest that you raid a lot, because when you raid other stations, be they NPC stations, which you can see by the, oh damn it, I can't mouse it, but the orange NPC, the NPC is designated by the orange NPC letters. So you want to raid a lot in the game. So I'm just going to select these 3 units, do fleet operations, and click raid. I can see how much time the travel will take. This is one-way time it will take. And then in the movements menu, I can see my movement, ongoing movements. And you have, I believe it is 3 minutes you have to cancel movements if you want to do that. Then there is the inventory. The inventory and has all the cards in the game. And right now I have 100 copies of all of the cards in the game, so you can see all the cards. But you will start with 0 cards. And the way you get cards is by doing missions, and the way you do missions is to find them. And you use these blue ships, these scout ships, to find missions. I'm going to press space once, I change the mode. I'm going to go into exploration mode, and I'm just going to send these out to scan for missions. And you want to have missions available to you as much as possible. So what this scan does is that it drops a probe. I can see the duration of the probe here, and the probe looks for missions all around it. And if you don't find a mission, usually you get this kind of a heat map, and the hotter the hex is, the more likely it is to contain a mission. And once you see a red hex like this one, you know it has a mission. And you can see that it's hostile force, difficulty moderate. I can right click it and view the mission. And I can see that it requires 1 defense fleet and 2 escorts. So it means I have to send 1 defense fleet and 2 any kinds of fleets. And this is the reward I get for doing the mission. So I need 400 combined defense firepower to complete this. So I'm just going to select. So you can see now when I select this defensive fleet that I get 21 defensive firepower. So I'm way off. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to make a few units. I'm going to complete the mission for you guys. Now I have this beautiful little defensive fleet ready to do this mission. So I click the mission. I can see that now I have 2,121 defensive firepower, which is quite enough to satisfy this requirement, but I'm still missing 2 escorts. So I'm just going to click these 2, send it on its way, and we're going to wait patiently, which is not my strong suit. I'm just going to deliver these ships here. I have 11 of them already constructed. I'm just going to deliver them. I can see them in hangar. Another quick way to place units inside of fleets is to hold shift and scroll the ships into the fleet. You can also scroll them out of the fleet, of course. And if you hold Control Shift, you do it by tens. So now that I've finished the mission, you can see a Martian cache is received. Click to view your caches. And here is the cache of cards that I got. And I get to open it. Yeah, I love mystery boxes. Come on, epic. Well, I got a rare card and 3 common cards. So that's fine. That's actually a really, really nice rare card. So by this method, by finding missions, scanning for missions and finding them and doing them, you earn cards. And you use cards to customize your fleets and stations. And here in the station management, here are the card slots that I have. If I click this, I get to see all the cards that I can place in this slot. And the difference between the blue slot and the white slot is that the blue slot is for timed cards only. So here I'm just going to place this beautiful Purificrux, which will increase my resource production for 4 hours. That's like 800 of each resource. That's fantastic. You can also place cards on your fleets in the fleet management, you have the same system here. You click the white ones for permanent cards, and you click the blue ones for timed cards. Another thing to understand about Starborne is how to build outposts. In the building planner, you have these certain buildings that unlock outposts. You can see which one they are by these little boxes here. There's a faint line also connecting it to the building that opens them. Inside the building, this orange text describes the outpost. So I'm going to build an outpost for you guys, but first I need to upgrade my station. You can see this influence meter here. It means I have surpassed the limit, so I can press the upgrade button and pay this resource price. And if you notice, I have now increased the influence of my station. I can do this 3 times, so you can get up to level 4 stations. This means that I own this area, that I have claim on it. And I can build outposts in this area. To build an outpost, I need to build a building that unlocks an outpost. I'm going to build a data bureau and unlock the scanner outpost. And the second thing I need to do is to select my industrial fleets and choose build outpost and select the hex. And I can see I have the scanner selected, and here you can see the construction cost and how much labor it costs, and it will be a level 1. Now it will cost 1 infrastructure points. And that's another important concept in the game. In order to build outposts and new stations, you have to have infrastructure points. And those are accumulated over time, and you can see that accumulation happening over here when you level by the level of your dude. My dude is level 41. It's because it's existed for quite a while, so it's been taking in. And I can see that I have 41 infrastructure points, and you get 1 infrastructure points for each level of your avatar. So in order for me to build the scanner, I click here, and you see I have enough resources, but I'm missing cargo space. My 3 industrials only have 360 cargo space, but I need 5,204. So you have to have enough cargo space to carry all the resources to build the outpost. So I'm just going to turn this off. And I have already made 200, cheated and made these 200 industrials. So I'm going to put these in here, select it. I'm not going to put all of them in because I want to show you a little trick. So now I have, oh, it's too much, okay. I won't be able to show you the trick, so let's just do it with 30. So now I'm missing just a little bit for of the cargo space that I need. So what you can do in this early game, when you start the game early, is you can also just right-click the fleet and you open up the fleet management, which is usually open up via this button, and you open up the fleet management UI with that fleet selected. So I can just go straight here to the cards. I'm going to type in cargo, and now I can see all the cards that affect my cargo, and I am going to add, wait, there's a timed card that's really easy to get, 50% more cargo for 16 hours. So now, let me just right click again, I can see now in the cargo space is 5,940, build outpost, and now I have, well, it doesn't, this is an alpha, so, okay, it doesn't update quite, 5,940, this is an alpha, guys, don't forget that, you will encounter stuff that doesn't make sense right away. I should have enough cargo space. Wait, let me just deselect the station, select it again, build outpost, and there we go. Now it's updated. I had to deselect the station and select again to update it. I will fix that eventually. So now I can do construct, and my guys go out. If I press M, I can see the movement menu, or I can just click the movements, and you can see that it's building a scanner at Void from tutorial dude headquarters. And once it lands, the scanner outpost is right there. Lastly, I want to show you a little bit about achievements. I have now unlocked an achievement, construct any outpost. I click the notification. I've actually completed a lot of achievements in the beginning, and if you click here, you can just do claim reward. I get 200 prestige and 1,000 of each of the resources, and this is always deposited into your capital station. So yes, prestige, that's worthy of mentioning right now. When you click a card, you can see that you can craft the cards by playing 100 prestige, and you can break them down for 10 prestige. This card particularly, but it differs depending on the rarity of the card. So it doesn't matter if you don't always get the cards that you want. As long as you keep collecting cards, you can break them down and build the cards that you really want and want to use. So the last thing I want to talk about is our newly included store. The black market, which you will find in the inventory, is where you can buy our premium currency called Plat, which is short for platinum, and therein you can buy caches. There's a lot of caches, a lot of variety of caches, and there's also bundles of caches, or some bundles even have guaranteed special cards. You can click these to see a description of what they entail, and do pay attention that the plats that you buy for money, they will be stored in your account. You will never lose your plats between the alpha test or until we launch the game. But if any caches or caches that you buy, or any bundles that you buy, they are per game only. So if you buy a cache and you don't open it, and then we close the alpha and we open the next test phase or we launch, you won't have that cache anymore, but you will have your plat. I want to point especially out to you, since this is the first time we have the store in, we're trying to test it out, and we would love it if you guys could help test it out. So we have made this special deal for you guys. You get a lot of plat for very little money, and when the game launches you will have a special avatar which you cannot get by any other means than buying it in this alpha phase. And this concludes the basic tutorial for Starborne Sovereign Space. Fantastic. I'll end this on a mistake.